inside PowerPoint. So before we get started, I just want to say that I'm going to be using PowerPoint as my example in this video, but you are also going to get this same template in both Keynote and OpenOffice format. So if for whatever reason you don't have PowerPoint on your machine, then you can open this same presentation up in Keynote or OpenOffice. Just know that some of the commands and some of the tools that you'll see me use inside PowerPoint might not be available inside Keynote or OpenOffice. So just keep that in mind. I really do recommend you do pick up PowerPoint though, because personally I think it's the better of the three, and it's really affordable, and it just makes it really simple for making these kinds of videos. Even if you're on a Mac, you can still get PowerPoint and run it on your Mac. But like I said, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show you how to do everything inside PowerPoint, but it'll be pretty similar. The steps will be pretty similar in Keynote or OpenOffice, just they might vary a little bit because, like I said, they're not the same programs. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and just get started. So you can see over here on the left that we've got the different slides here that make up the video. For this particular template, there's 23 different slides. So whenever I go to make a new sales video, I will actually use this same template here and basically start out with, instead of starting out from a blank PowerPoint document, I will open up this template and I will have my script over here on my other monitor, and I will basically create my slides one by one according to my script, and I have all these different slide templates that I can use. So for example, when I want to open the video, obviously this means I want to have a picture of myself here, and I want to have my own logo here. So I would basically swap out these things with my logo and a picture of me. If you check out any of my other recent sales videos, if you ever check out my Video Script Genius product, this is actually one of the first sales videos that I used this exact template on. Although I've used variations of it throughout the years, this exact template was used to create that sales video. And you'll see when the video starts, there's a picture of me that comes on the screen, and then the Video Revolver logo. If you want to check out that video, you can go to videorevolver.com/VSG, as in Video Script Genius, and you can just kind of see a published video or a finished video based on this template. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to go through and just replace the things that are generic with your own things. So this is what's called a headline slide. So this is where you might want to start to talk about the problem that your product is eventually going to solve for your viewer. And then you might want to have a slide where you have a subheadline. So this is what's called a subheadline slide, and it's really all up to you how you want to structure your video. This is kind of just a basic layout that I like to follow. And then like this is a slide where I like to emphasize like a statistic or something like that. In this case, we can change these numbers like so, and put whatever numbers we want there. So I'm just going to undo that. And again, just going through the template and modifying the different slides that you need. And here are some testimonial slides. All you have to do is just edit the text here, enter in your testimonial, swap this out with your customer's photo. Here you're going to have the different things that your product solves, the different issues that your product solves. Here you're going to have the image of your product. And then over here you can start listing the different features or different things that your customer gets with your product. And then you can just go in to talk about what it does and just to recap what they get. And then introduce the price and X out from the regular price and introduce the lower price. And then you have a call to action arrow at the end. So that's a basic overview, but what if you wanted to edit any of this stuff? What would you actually do? Well, first of all, let's say we wanted to have a picture of ourselves here. Well, all we would do is we could just actually delete the image and reinsert a new one, but that would be kind of a pain because we'd have to re-add the animation. You can see that I already have animations in all of these slides. Okay, and all the animations have audio, sound effects linked to them and everything, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But the easiest way to do this would just be to right click the image and go to change picture. And then you can click from a file on your computer, and you can just browse for the computer browse on your computer for the image that you want to use to replace the existing one. So let's say I want to use this picture of me here. I could scale it down, move it around. I could even add some formatting to it. Let's say I wanted to use that. And now it doesn't get rid of my animation. The animation and the sound effect is still linked to the image, but I've just changed it out with my own image. Same with this circle here. Actually, this is not an image, so I can't actually swap this out. If this was an image, I could, but in this case, we would just have to insert our own logo image. So we just go to Insert, and let's go browse for an image here. So I've got a logo I can use here. I'm just going to insert that logo, scale it down. And in this case, like I said, where this is not an image, we can't just replace it. So in this case, we'll just add the same animation to it. So this animation is basically the fly-in animation. So we can get rid of the old template animation there, or the old logo animation. Then we can re-add an animation. We can have it fly in from the right. And we'll go to Effect Options, we'll give it a bounce end of 0.3, and we will have it start with the previous animation, so it starts at the same time that the image comes onto the screen, and we'll have it be very fast. So now we basically added our new logo, replaced the generic one with our new one. So that's probably the only thing you'll have to reinsert as an image in this template here. In fact, I might even fix that in an update to this product. But that's basically how you would change the first slide. And then the second slide is just text. You just enter your headline. So let's say your headline, you might want to open your video with want to lose 70 pounds in the... And sometimes your text might be a little too long, so you'll have to resize it a little bit. Next 30 days. There, now you have a headline slide all ready to go. And sometimes when you type in your headlines, sometimes the text might move around. Sometimes the text might be too long. Like in this case, it would be too long. We could, just easily resize it by selecting it and selecting the resizer here. I'm not going to do that now though. Another thing you'll notice is that sometimes the text might move around. An easy way to center your text on the slide is just to select it and go to Format, and under Align, go to Align Center. And if you want to align it in the middle of the slide or vertically, then you would just select Align Middle. So that's just an easy way to keep your text aligned. And then the rest of these slides, all the text slides are basically the same, just point and click and type in your stuff. Same thing here, just click and edit the text. Same thing here, click and edit the text. With the testimonial images, where we're actually using images here, all you'd have to do is get an image of your customer that left you the testimonial, right click, go to change picture, and we'll just use this picture of me just for demonstration purposes here. We use this picture here, and now we've got our own picture there. If you wanted it to have a circle effect like this, then you could just go to Format and actually go to Crop and go to Crop to Shape, and then you can select the circle here and it will actually crop it to a circle. But you can choose to leave it as a square if your image is a square, whatever you want to do. But that's really easy as far as swapping out your customer testimonial pictures. So if you got clients who leave you testimonials, literally all you have to do is just right click, go to change picture, and you're done. The animations, everything stays the same. Here we've got another bulleted slide here. Again, just editing the text. Here's where you'd want to put your product e-cover. Again, all you have to do is just go to change picture. We'll browse for an e-cover picture here. Let's just use one of my old product e-covers here. We use this one. It's kind of grainy because it's too small, but let's pretend that this is what we want. So if we were to view this right now, you can see that that transition where it kind of pulls the curtain to reveal the product is still there. So it didn't change anything. Moving on down, we've got text, text, text. Again, just point and click and edit. If you want to change your price here, this is really easy to do. All you have to do is just select your text and edit it. But in this case, we've got an X in our way, so we can't actually select the text without moving this X. So the easiest way to select the text below without actually moving this X to a layer below the text would just be go to Home and click on Select over here. This will open up the selection pane option here. Go ahead and click that. And then you can choose over here in this selection pane which products you want to, or which items you want to edit. So let's say you want to change that text. All you have to do is turn off the X there so you don't have to see it. And then you can just sit here and type in your price. So we're going to put that back. Again, that's the selection pane. It just allows you to select things that are behind other items. And you can get that by going to Home, and over here under Select, go to Selection pane. Next slide is the price. You'll see in the video that this already has a bunch of animations tied to it. All you have to do is just edit your text, your price here in the animation stay, and then you've got the call to action arrow. So that's basically editing the slides. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the sound effects. If you watch this final video, you will notice that we've got the video is made up of animations, animated slides, sound effects, and background music. So what we've already done for you to save you a bunch of time is already inserted all the sound effects, all the background music that goes with the video. So if we were to view this slideshow right now, the background music will start playing and all the animations will have sound effects. So let me just view the slideshow to show you what I mean. So I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you can see that the sound effects are all linked up with the animations. So this can be a good thing, but in some cases, depending on your video, you might need to tweak the sound effects. So what we've done is we went and we added the sound effects and linked them to all the animations. So for example, when this image comes onto the screen, or when this image of me or what's going to be you comes onto the screen, we've set it so that a sound effect will play. So what we've done is we go over here under the animation pane, which you can get by selecting the item, going to animation pane, then you see your item over here that you have selected. You can go over here under effect options, and then over here under enhancements, you'll see sound. And you can see that we have this sound effect here, whoosh.wave, linked to this animation. So if we were to change this sound here, a different sound would play when this animation happens. Okay, and I've already included all these sound effect files in your download folder. So if you look in your download folder under MP3 and then sound effects, you'll have all these sound effect files, so you can use them however you want. So let's say you want to publish directly from PowerPoint into a video, and you want to take that video and bring it into Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere, and add some other stuff, do some tweaking. You can insert those sound effect files separately if you wanted to. So let's say, like, if for example we have let's say we wanted this sound effect to play a second after than what it's coming on the screen as right now, then the easiest thing to do would just be to do that editing in Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. So you would just publish this PowerPoint slide to a video. You'd have that finished video, but maybe the sound effects might not be exactly where you want them to be. Then you could just insert that into Sony Vegas and do the tweaking from there. So anytime in the actual video where you see a sound effect or you hear some type of sound effect, it's all set up already linked for you inside the PowerPoint. So you don't have to re-add it if you don't want to. So sound effects are added two ways. One, through the animation directly, and two is in the transition. So you can see this particular slide doesn't have any animations. It's just a transition. So a transition is basically an effect that happens in between two slides. So let me show you what this looks like. And the music's going to start playing again here. So you can see when we transitioned into this slide, it just kind of, the text flew onto the screen at the same time this stuff was going away. And that's what's called a transition. So you can actually add sound effects to transitions as well. So if you go to transitions, under sound, you will see that you can add your own sound effect here. And it's the same process. We basically did the same thing. We linked up the sound effect to the transition instead of the animation. And that's basically what makes up this entire template. So let's say that you have your video, all these slides edited, and you have all the slides that make up your video all done, and you want to publish it to a video. Well, there's a few different ways you can do that. So let's say that you have your video done, you have all your slides. Let's pretend this video is done, okay? These are all real testimonials and everything, and it's ready to go. We want to keep the background music that we've already put in the template for you, and you want to keep the sound effects and all that stuff. So there's two different ways to go about turning this into a video. The first way would be to just turn on your microphone and play the slideshow, and as you're playing the slideshow, you can basically record your voice into the microphone, and what's going to happen is you'll have like Camtasia or some other screencast software basically recording your screen as you're playing the slideshow. So the screencast software is going to be recording your screen as you're going through the slides and picking up the audio from your voice. So in the end, you'll have a finished video. So the only downside to that is that your voice or the sound effects in the background music may not be, or they may be too loud, or they may not be as loud as you want them to be in reference to your voice. So what you'll have to do, most likely, is even if you record your screen to make your video, so let's say, I'll just show you what we would do. And again, the music's going to start playing here, so I'll have this turned down in the finished video. But let's say we were playing this, and we're going through all the slides, and we're recording our voiceover like this, okay? And then the Camtasia is going to give us a video file that has, the video from our screen recording, and it's going to be picking up the sound effects in the background music, which is on our system audio on our computer, and it's also going to be picking up our voice as a separate audio track. So you'll be able to insert that into Sony Vegas and play around with your voice levels and stuff like that. So that might be a little bit, there might be a little bit more work involved in that step. So what I would actually recommend you do is to not do it that way. I just wanted to let you know that option is available. But another thing you could do is just actually publish this video straight to, or publish this presentation straight to a video file. So you can go to File, Export, and you can go to Create a Video, and under Computer and HD Displays, or you want to make sure you have Computer and HD Displays selected, and just go ahead and just create a video. I'll go ahead and do it right now just to show you what we'll get here. I'll save it on my desktop. And you can see over here on the bottom that PowerPoint is going to work, and it's creating a video file out of all of our slides here. So it's going to give us a video file with no voiceover or anything. It's just going to be basically as if we were playing the presentation. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that exported video file into our video editing program such as Sony Vegas, and we can simply add in our voiceover and then do any editing that we need to do to line up the different animations and transitions with our voice. So I'll pause this video until PowerPoint is done, and we'll continue on. So PowerPoint has completed the video exporting of our presentation. So this is what you're going to end up with. So here we are inside Sony Vegas, which is my video editing program tool, or video editing software program of choice. It's really simple and easy to use. If you decide to go this route, this is what you would do. You basically insert the MP4 video file that PowerPoint gives you, and this is what it will look like. I'll just go ahead and play it for you. So now we have this file that we can go ahead and insert our voiceover into. Let's say we had a voiceover. I'll go ahead and find one for. So I've got a sample voiceover right here. Just click and drag it down into the timeline. So now we've got two different audio tracks. You can see we have our voiceover, which is the real length that our video needs to be, and then we've got the PowerPoint animations up here. Okay. So in this case, what you could do is PowerPoint will actually give you the video version and the or the video track and the audio track from your PowerPoint. So what I would actually recommend doing, if you want to make sure it's perfect, go ahead and just ungroup your audio and video track from each other by selecting the PowerPoint video and tapping U on your keyboard. And you can get rid of the audio track that PowerPoint gives you. And now all you have to do is just listen to your voiceover and line up your slides to match up with that voiceover. So I'll just do like the first slide, or the first two slides, just to show you what I'm talking about here. So I'll zoom in, and we'll just go ahead and press play.
Hey there, and welcome to day one of our social media video series, Social Media for Small Business.
So obviously this voiceover doesn't even match up with our slides. It's actually a voiceover that I had created for a separate video. But let's say that this is where I wanted the voiceover, or this is the part of the voiceover where we want to switch over to the second slide. In this case, the transition is happening back here. Okay, so we're going to go back by tapping the left and right arrow keys on our keyboard until we get back to the part of the PowerPoint file where we want to have the animation to happen, which is right about there. Okay, so we're going to tap S on our keyboard to split the track, and we'll click and drag the remainder of the track over to where we want it to start, or we want the animation to start. And now we're just going to fill that gap with a still image. So we'll tap left on our keyboard. Up here we'll go to Save Snapshot to File, and we'll just go ahead and save this image on our desktop. So what we've just done there is we've just taken a still screenshot of our slide. And now, if we watch this, you'll see that the animation or the transition happens when the voiceover hits this part right here.
Hey there, and welcome to day one of our social media video series, Social Media for Small Business. Today I'll be sharing some valuable information about...
So you can see that if this was the real slide that went with the voiceover, you can see that that animation or that transition actually happens when he starts talking about the next thing in the voiceover. So you would basically repeat that step until you got to the end of the voiceover. And that's what you should do if you want it to be, perfect. But if you're just looking for a quick and easy way to crank out your videos with these templates, then like I said, you might want to go the route of just firing up your screencast software and recording your voice as you're playing the slideshow. The only downside to that is that the animations, or not the animations, the sound effects or the background music may drown out your voice. It totally depends on the audio levels you're looking for. So, like I said, if you want to do it, the best way, export directly to video in PowerPoint. Then you have all your slides right here, and you're ready to go. So I hope you've enjoyed this video walkthrough. The next videos are going to be a little bit quicker, because I've basically explained the entire editing process here. But if you have any other questions about this process, or if something's not clear to you, please feel free to let me know, and I'll make a follow-up video to cover anything that you feel that I should have covered or something that you're confused about. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next tutorial for the pre-launch video template. So I'll see you there.